Now that our bellies are full,
I know.
it's time to make some clothes. Here to show us how to create a unique one-of-a-kind jacket is our very unique one-of-a-kind Orly Shani.
Yeah, hey Orly.
Thank you, my dear.
I will say one of a kind and one size fits all because you've got quite an audience.
That's
here.
right. I'm going to be busy. I'll be here till midnight taking pre-orders. Thank you. Yeah, this is really fun. So I actually got this idea from Kate, our wardrobe stylist. She sent me this awesome jacket by Zadig & Voltaire. There it is. Really cool. It's like it looked like a sequin skull army jacket.
So cool.
About $500.
Yeah.
Little out of my price range, but really, really cool and obviously beautifully made. It's a very popular brand. So I thought there was probably a way that we could do it. I've seen this glitter spray paint by Krylon here in the garage. We've got it. We use it for various projects. So I thought, all right, now the next thing is how do I create the skull? So what I decided to do was use the Google machine and search skull graphic. And I came out with this image. It was a skull graphic. And what I did is I cut it out and turned it into a stencil. So I'm going to show you how to do it with any image that you find. So what you're going to do...
So you basically made your own stencil.
I made my own stencil with just like a free image that was online.
Okay.
Can I throw a wrench at you?
Totally.
Because we always love to learn from failures, right? Did you have anything go wrong?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
I never, ever, that never happens to me, by the way, ever. So this is a shock.
No, because you always go like, I really learned.
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
All right,
so first things first, I downloaded these and then I sent them to FedEx Kinko's and I said, I want it on your biggest cardstock. That happens to be 11 by 17. So they printed the image on 11 by 17. Just do black and white because it doesn't matter. You're not using the image and it's 43 cents for a black and white 11 by 17 for this.
Perfect. Okay.
Next, I got one of them laminated, thinking I probably really need it laminated in order to make this strong enough, and that was $4. Turns out I couldn't really cut through it, and it wasn't even really necessary. I used this. So just skip the lamination process and use this.
Was that your failure?
That was one of my failures. Mark, if you could stop with the questions. Okay, don't worry, I'll take it from here, Mark.
Okay, good.
Next up, you want to decide which part of the image you want to show. So if you want the black part to be the transfer, then that's what you're cutting out of the picture. Now, this was the other confusing, what originally confused me, and once I got it, I'm like, oh, that's easy. Okay. What you need to make sure is that it is the white part is one continuous piece. So what I did first is I cut this out. But what I ended up with was just a giant hole.
Piece.
Yeah.
I see
oh my
what
God.
you did there.
I'm getting that accidentally from you. I didn't even realize I did it.
I know.
Your puns are...
You should see a doctor. Quickly.
So I don't know if you can see right there, I put a little piece of tape. This is my pathway from the outside to the inside. That means that as I cut, I'm gonna cut down here and around. That way it's one continuous graphic. Otherwise, all of these things, it would have just been an empty circle.
Right.
So when you're doing it, just make sure that you keep your white continuous. There is no break in your white. And if you have to create a little pathway for yourself, you can.
Just do it.
Like this is a stencil, a pumpkin stencil, and you can see how the white's all connected because it's meant for that. See, there's no break.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. So you just want to create that for yourself.
So what you're spraying is actually what's the black area.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
And in order to have that, you need to create those pathways for yourself if it doesn't exist. On this, it doesn't matter because the white's continuous.
Correct.
So next, you're going to take an X-Acto knife, and you're just going to cut. I've done most of it, but you're just going to cut all along here.
Do you guys DIY at all?
Yeah, definitely. A lot. It's super fun.
It's fun, right?
Yeah.
It's a way of making everything custom and kind of taking ownership, which is really cool. So look, now we pull that out.
Okay.
And here is our stencil.
That's
so that's it.
That's great, Orly.
Now, normally a stencil would be thicker, so a great way to make this really adhese.
Adhese.
Is that a word?
That was your second mistake. Your second.
English is my third language. Okay, so this stuff is really great. It's called repositionable adhesive spray. It'll allow you to spray the back of it, put it on, pick it up, put it on. It won't transfer residue as long as you wait about 10 minutes and kind of let it get tacky. Don't spray it and put it on. Spray it. So I've done that to this one, right? Now this one's on. See, so all these little things are in there. Now, girls, what color do you think would look cool with this?
This one's super cool.
Yeah,
like gunmetal?
Like gunmetal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So great. So now I'm gonna kind of block off this space because you don't want too much overspray to happen anywhere else. And you want to do this in a place that's not super windy. If it is windy, you're going to want to use tape, kind of additionally.
Probably outside, too.
Do it by
And
Dad's
always
car.
outside.
Dad will love it if you go
Now,
right
if
next
you guys,
to his
I
car.
want you
it'll
guys
block
to
the
back
wind.
up just a little so I don't get you sprayed. And now you're, okay.
It's a high pressure,
you know what I'll do?
high pressure gun.
This is another good thing.
Smart.
I have them. Use gloves to keep it all kind of smushed into place.
I think that was our third.
Maybe.
Oh, Mark, stop.
Yeah, Orly, get your graffiti on.
Yeah, thank you.
Like tagging a jacket.
It really is.
Somebody broke a heart.
Can you do it with like any color, or does it have to be glitter?
Any color. I just thought that this is really cool with glitter because it's kind of hard to tell what it is once it's done.
Yeah.
You know, like spray paint, you're like, okay, that's paint. But there's something about the glitter that creates a really cool effect that you kind of are like, how is that created?
Kind of
Can I
pops,
just
too.
Can I
Okay.
just say it never has to be glitter ever?
Oh,
Mark has a
But
hard
I'm
time
just
with
saying.
glitter. He always ends up with glitter all over him.
He really does.
I do. I go home. I'm like,
Okay.
how did that get there?
Now, contrary to what you might think, you want to peel it off when it's still sort of wet. I know.
Really?
It doesn't feel like the right thing to do,
But it is.
but it is.
You're a wizard, Orly.
Hey.
Look at you go to.
So easy.
Wait, I'll hold that sucker up.
Look at that.
Hologram.
What? Yep, Orly Versace.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. And how much is this one going to cost? Because the other one's $500.
The other one's $500. This is the can of spray paint, and you can make however many. Well, plus 43 cents. Plus
Plus the
43 cents.
cents from Kinko's.
So it's about, yeah, it's going to be about, do I have a piece of paper on there?
Yeah.
It's going to be about, you know, $6.
What about
and 43
cleaning it?
cents. So this is something I would dry clean. However, you can heat set it. You know, almost any time we use spray paint, not only fabric paint, but spray paint, you're going to want to put a cloth, heat set it with your iron. Don't smush the iron, just heat set 15 seconds, move on. And then it's going to be a little bit more protected, but I would still probably dry clean just to be safe.
You always have such great ideas, Orly.
This is so fun. You can do any image you want. That's the best part.